What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, the second installment of Cool Piece TV. Super excited to have you guys back, and today we're going to be going over 5 things that I hate about my 1989 Nissan Skyline. So let's get right to it. So before we get into it, real quick, I just wanted to plug my Patreon. It's in the description. It's on my channel. Go check it out. We're going to be donating to veterans charities. And I think this month might be a little bit different. We're going to send the donations to Ukraine. We're going to go through the Ukrainian Red Cross. So you can do that through my page, or you can head over to the Ukrainian Red Cross themselves, and we can do it that way. With that being said, the very first thing that I hate about my 1989 Nissan Skyline is something that's quite trivial, actually. So right there you can see this weird little seatbelt thing, and right here you'll be able to see it a little bit closer. So basically what that does is, like, it brings the seatbelt forward so it can, you know, be closer to your shoulder, but in theory it's kind of cool, but the execution, just what's not there, it's not that great. And it just, if you pull on the seatbelt too hard, it'll just kink it up, and it's a beast and a half to get it undone. Eventually planning on getting a harness bar and harnesses in here along with the Corbeau seats, so hopefully it won't be an issue for forever, but until then, that's just something that really bugs me. Everybody who gets in the car, they're always like kind of so on to the next thing. The second thing that I hate is the fact that the roof is smooth. And so what that means is when it rains, which it does here in Washington quite a bit, when it rains, the water, if the window's cracked at all, the water just comes right in and it drips all over the door panels, and it's super annoying. It's probably not good for the door handles at all, but you know, you can only do so much. I'm trying to find some like rain guards, rain visors for it, but obviously they're super expensive and not very common in the States. So yeah, that's probably not very good for these 33-year-old electronics in the door. And the third thing that I hate about my 1989 Nissan Skyline is what I did to the fenders. So your boy likes this meaty fitment, and when I took it drifting at Spirit Peaks is a little bit bumpy, and so being that it's so bumpy, I kind of folded the fenders in. Yeah. I didn't actually get any pictures or videos of it, but when I was drifting, I folded in both sides. So both sides got messed up. They're really ugly now. Some over fenders are in the works, so I'm probably gonna go with D-Max fenders. You know, I don't like the way that the stock fenders look if it's a Gtst. The GTR ones look a little bit better because they're wider, but the Gtst ones are just too shallow, and the like 3/4 view of the car, it just doesn't, I don't know, it looks all like rounded and weird. It's not ideal. I kind of hate myself for doing that. And I also catapulted the back bumper and broke it in a couple spots and scraped up my exhaust a little bit, which you probably saw in the last video, so that doesn't look super great, but I kind of like it just because, I don't know, it's a drift car. It's a street car, it's a drift car, it's a lot of fun. Dude, I can't even think of 5 things that I hate about this car. I love this car. It's been great. It's left me stranded a couple times, but not by its own doing. The couple times that it's left me stranded is the first time, the day I bought it, the oil feed line was replaced from the factory one with like coolant hose, and so obviously that was not going to hold up for very long, and on the hour-and-a-half drive home it gave way. It made a pretty nice cloud of smoke on the freeway. It kind of exploded when we got to my buddy's house where I was going to keep the car for a little bit. I'll put a picture up right here what I did to his driveway accidentally. Don't worry, we cleaned it all up really nice, you know. So that was fun. And then the other time, the exhaust was apparently put on with a giant hose clamp. That just didn't last. I was driving, I went over a bump and I couldn't keep driving on it, so I had to pull into this church parking lot really quick because it like fell completely out and then wedged itself under the diff and between the street and the differential. So that was awful. It didn't make some very good noises at all. So yeah, that wasn't fun. Yeah, so there was a lot of stuff that I had to fix on this car right after I bought it. I did like water pump, timing belt, tensioners, spark plugs, nice braided oil feed line, brand new exhaust stuff, got an AM wideband, boost gauge, all that stuff. And there's lots more to come in the future. As far as building the engine, I'm probably gonna leave it pretty stock just because I like reliability and I like seat time. And so I figure if it's as close to stock as I can get it, then probably the longer it's gonna last, hopefully. The car's only got 144,000 kilometers on it, which is only about 80,000 miles to kilometers. I don't know the exact conversion on that. So it's relatively low mileage. It should last quite a while. It did amazing at the last drift event. It was super reliable, knock on wood. We'll probably go to a front-facing intake just because I don't like how cluttered it is in the engine bay. You guys let me know if you did a front-facing intake on this and a front mount intercooler, what you did with the stock recirc valve, if you just plumbed it in somewhere else along the F mic, or you know, what you did for that. I'm not really trying to change the ECU for now. I want a pretty much stock setup, and if it's possible to not change it, then I'll go with the front-facing intake and the front mount. I do eventually want to get it like a Niz tune or something on it, send it to Injuku, get a Niz tune on it, which, you know, we could probably squeeze a few more ponies out of this thing. It probably makes just barely over 200 right now, but it's plenty. You know, it's a 2,700 pound car. It's rear-wheel drive. It's 5-speed manual. The e-brake locks up. You know, it pulls good. So, you know, it's plenty for a drift/street car. So the fifth thing I hate about this car is putting premium in it, because premium sucks. It's so expensive right now, especially in Washington. So premium's like, I don't know, $4.26 a gallon, and this thing has a 15-gallon tank. So it's like $60 to fill this thing up, and on my rather limited budget, that's not a whole lot, you know. We are planning to go drifting in March. We want to go to Spirit Peaks Raceway. We want to either do the March 5th or the March 27th event. I'm still trying to figure it out. If the car's going to be ready by March 5th, then we're absolutely going to try to make it to that event. If it's not going to be, then we're going to just do the 27th, and we'll figure something out for that. But before that, the next couple of videos, we're going to be doing some drift pep on the car. We've got extended lower control arms that are coming in. We need to get some new inner tie rods so we can get the alignment finally correct. We need to put in this high cast lockout bar from Gtst, because the last time I was drifting the car on really tight hairpin corners, I think the high cast was kicking in. High cast, I don't know. The high cast was kicking in and causing me to spin out, and it makes the car feel weird sideways, obviously, because the back wheels are flopping around, doing all that kind of stuff, which is not great. So yeah, the next couple of videos are going to be some drift prep stuff. Probably going to be getting a new daily here soon, so watch out for a build on that. I'm not going to tell you what kind of car it is yet, but we'll get there. You guys will see it, don't worry. And then we got to get a new car hauler. We're trying to get a Suburban or a Yukon or something. Got to get a car trailer because the track is 4 hours away. We got a lot of stuff to do. March is a big month. It's all going to come together. It'd be super awesome. So with that, check out my Patreon. Definitely support the channel. Tell your friends. Check out the video. Check out my first video where I talk about 5 things that I love about my Nissan Skyline, because this one, I can't even find 5 things that I hate about it, because I absolutely love this car. It's awesome. I'm super excited for you guys to be watching. I also wanted to say that we are doing a merch startup. So we're starting up some merch. We're going to do stickers. We're going to do keychain flight tags. We want to do t-shirts and sweatshirts. If that's something you guys want, let me know. We can do a pre-order. We can set that up. I need to get a website going. So yeah, definitely check that out. Go put it in the comments below what you guys want to see. And in the next videos, we're going to do some drift prep. Y'all have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video.